Hey, welcome back to part 13 of my coding tutorial series for MoreCore. I'm glad to see you've made it this far, and I hope that whatever ideas you've got percolating around in your head are starting to transform themselves into a functional prototype, or maybe even something better. So this is 13th part, and we're still working on the character sheet. We're going to look at to hit armor class 0 fields for characters. So this is what our character sheet currently looks like, and we're using the standard MoreCore combat field C4. So C4 is just shorthand for combat field 4, and it's just a default field in the MoreCore sheet. And we're going to use that because it's already linked in the combat tracker and other places. So the very first thing that we're going to do is open the record car more sheet, and we're going to grab this code pretty much straight out of the MoreCore version. We're going to put this into our extension version, and then we're going to rename a few things. So we're going to leave the name as 4 and the source as 4 because there's other backend code that uses those. We're going to add the merge equals replace tag. We're going to change the tooltip. So we've got a new tooltip underscore THACO, and we also got in the string user edit, we're going to change the default field from C4 to THACO. Now the default field's an interesting one. The default field will populate the field the first time it's shown. As soon as it's shown, there's a value in there, and it's not going to change that value. So what we'll see is when we make this change and we reload, our C4 won't magically become THACO because it's already saved the C4 field in there. But if we open a blank character up, it will get the THACO text in there as its default text. Let's go and have a look at that. So you can see here, these are the extra strings that we've added into our strings underscore DVD. We've got the label, that's going to replace the C4, and the tooltip. So this is our new sheet after we've reloaded our existing fighter. You can see that C4 hasn't relabeled, but the tooltip is showing. And if I open up a blank character sheet, we get THACO. So you can see there we've got hit points, armor class wounds, and to hit armor class 0 or THACO. Right. The next thing we want to do is build an array. So in between this session and the last one, I realized that you can probably do this a little bit more simply, building these arrays if they've got single values in them. And I originally built this out, and I was trying to work out, I'd do an if level equals 1 or 2, then use the first value. If it equals 3 or 4, then use the second value. And Celestian suggested that I simply put one value for each level, and even if it means having duplicate values, so you can see at the start there we've got 20, 19, 18, 17 all decrementing by 1, but once we get down to 12, we've got 2 12s, 2 11s, 2 10s, 2 9s, 3 8s, and 3 7s. So the progression rate slows down. The advantage of doing this, you'll see in the next code, means our code when we do the lookup is so much simpler. So instead of having 21 line entries here, we've got one line entry with 21 entries, and our code, which is back in our manager car dbd.lua, you can see it's really simple. One line of code. So db set value, node car, which is the reference for our character, 4 is the field. Remember, our field name was, our source name was 4 from MoreCore, and it's 4 because it's the 4th field in the combat tracker, and it's a generic field. The first 3 are specific fields, but because MoreCore is built to be generic, it's got a couple of extra fields for different systems. Maybe it's damage resistance, or an initiative bonus, or something else. So it depends on your system. So we're leaving the field name as 4. The data type is a number, and then we're calling data common dbd dot a fighter THACO. A fighter THACO is our array that we just had a look at, and it's going to do the current level plus 1. So, and the reason it does that is that the first entry in the array is for 0 level fighters, or standard everyday people are rated as 0 level fighters. So our first entry, the array calls its first entry 1, but our first entry, if we're going to do them by level number, would be 0. So we're going to increment it by 1. So n level plus 1 means that if you're a level 0 fighter, it's going to take 0 plus 1 equals 1, the first entry in that array. And if you're a 21st level fighter, it's going to take the 22nd entry in that array. So really simple, one line, and we get some magic happen. So this is what our character sheet looks like. Now you notice that C4 has changed to THACO. I did that manually because it's an existing character sheet. It's never going to update automatically because of the behavior of that string field. It's an editable string with the default value, so I've edited that to be THACO. But my 3rd level fighter, Swordmaster Xantar, has a THACO of 17. You can see the chat message there. Xantar is now a level 3 fighter. His new saving throw values. I may as well add a message in there later on for his new THACO level. And what we're going to do now is in one of our earlier sessions, we created the melee attack string using the /THACO dice roller, and we had originally linked it to the P1 field, which is a manually edited field. You can see there it's got a value of 19. What we're going to do is drag the new THACO field, which currently has a 17 in it. We're going to drag that to ref field A. We're going to hide parameter P1, and then we're going to edit the parameter formula, replace P1 with A, and now that A value is linked to our THACO value. So when Xantar levels up again, the THACO will change and this role will get updated automatically. So that's a nice, quick, short video for today, and we've seen how we can pull a value up, apply automatically. We've got a new format for our arrays and a really simple query string to pull that value and to set it. So keep coding, guys.